Let's talk more about this with John Feltner. He's the vice president of Rexnord's union, also a machinist at the company's ball bearing factory in Indianapolis. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Poppy.
You are putting 2 kids through college right now. And, you know,
Yes,
Marty's
ma'am.
piece just talked about the good paying jobs. These are jobs I've seen firsthand, you know, across the Rust Belt. You know them well. The average wage at Rexnord's plant there, $25 an hour. You voted for Donald Trump. You put your hope in him. Do you think that he is going to save your job?
Save my job? Probably not. Nothing has been said. We appreciate the tweet of him getting our Rexnord plant out, saying that they viciously firing 300 people. But as far as saving the jobs, our jobs are slated to go to Mexico.
Yeah, but he saved the Carrier jobs, right?
Understand, if you listen to that piece before, if you talk to Josh, they've got a lot of defense contracts, so I'm sure that was a heavy factor in that job. Now, on the same hand, he didn't save all the jobs at Carrier, so those are the jobs that we're still fighting along with ours.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because you're right. I mean, there's still 500 plus jobs that are going to Mexico. And Trump tweeted about this deal, quote, if United Steelworkers 1999 was any good, they would have kept those jobs in Indiana, spending more time working, less time talking, reduced dues. If you could sit down with the president-elect, what would you say to him?
I would ask him what he meant by that quote: reduce dues and work more, talk less. I don't know. I don't think he understands what we do there. We were representing those people, regardless. When it first broke, when the Carrier story first broke, the numbers were 1,400 people going to Mexico. Well, those are our members. Absolutely, we're going to fight for them. He come in and worked some kind of deal out and said that we're saving 100. Well, that's great. It's static. But we still got 500 going. So those are the people we're continue to fight for, as well as Rexnord, and we're fighting for HTC or the ones up in Huntington.
Let's listen to, talking about that number of jobs, let's listen to what one of the employees of Carrier, whose job was saved, T.J. Bray, what he said to my colleague, Kate Baldwin, this week.
Sure.
President-elect Trump came in and said it was 1,100 jobs. We find out, sat with the company day before yesterday, and we find out it's actually only 750 actually union production jobs that will be staying. So Trump kind of added in the 400 R&D and engineering jobs that were already slated to stay. So we're kind of disappointed that we're losing 550 actual union jobs.
Do you feel lied to?
Well, in a way we do. I mean, we do. I mean, we feel like, you know, we thought you're going to save all the jobs.
You thought you were going to save all the jobs. Do you feel misled by the president-elect on the number of jobs actually saved, what was, you know, put out there publicly by his team, and what the reality is?
I mean, when he said 1,100, they should have been 1,100, not 750. Like, again, the people that we represent, we jumped into this fight when there was, you know, all the jobs going out. And nothing's changed. There's still people losing their jobs. We're still fighting.
Let me just ask you a bigger picture question before I let you go, and that is, you know, there's no way that any administration can come in and, you know, deal with every single company that is outsourcing their jobs one by one. It's just not feasible. However, you can change policy, right? And that is something that is expected to be done with tax reform, et cetera. What is the number one thing you'd like to see the incoming administration do that you think will help people in your situations? Because, you know, Donald Trump points to global trade as being the reason that your jobs are going away. That's not all of it. A lot of it is, as you know well, automation and technology. So given those two realities, what do you want to see happen that you think would help you and people in your situation?
Well, you know, that's a good question. I'm thinking that the trade policies would be a good idea. Again, when he was talking earlier, the quote that he said that it was due to the unions and high dues. Like, again, I don't know what that quote was about. But the trade policies would be a big help for us. These companies are leaving to exploit cheap labor. Yeah, I mean, that's plain and simple. If you can change those trade policies to keep those jobs here in America, that's what we need. We need
But
American
do you
jobs, not just
concede
union
it won't
jobs.
save all of them because of automation, because of technology? Is there something else that can be done?
How are you going to stop automation? That I don't know how you stop that, or even if we wanted to stop it. But the fact is, even with automation, we got to have people behind that automation, making that go.
John Feltner, please keep us posted. We're thinking about all of you and all your families. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Poppy.